Hello, this is Horror Studio 1, and this is my unedited podcast. Hello, this is Horror Studio 1, and this is my unedited podcast. See what I did there? I tried to imitate myself. I tried to repeat what I just said. Was I effective? Comment in the section below. See? The earliest time I've told you guys to comment. Comment about my opening. What do you guys think about it? Hi guys, this is Horror Studio 1 coming to you again with my unedited podcast. How is everyone doing today? Good? Bad? Maybe? No? Okay. Anyways, today's topic is going to be a bit more extreme, and I just found it actually. I was trying to find, topics to do my next podcast on, and I thought that was going to take a while, but I found this topic, and it's pretty interesting, pretty hardcore stuff, and I want to talk a bit about that. But before I talk about that, I want to tell you guys I bought a new book today. I was out at the mall today, and just scrolling around, and I love to go to bookstores when I'm in the mall. I don't really look at clothes, unless I really want to buy something or I really want to upgrade my wardrobe. I would go specifically to buy clothes. I go there with a purpose. I am a man. I am a real man. I am a male. I am a gentleman. I am a boy. But no, I'm a little boy. So I go to the mall and I don't look at clothes and I don't like to window shop much. I go there with a specific purpose and I go get my stuff and I walk out, kind of thing. So I love browsing the bookstore though, because I really love to read biographies. Actually, that's the topic I most am interested in while reading books. I like to read about other people's success, their failures, how they got to be where they are. And the one I loved the most was Michael Jackson biography, which was 700 or so pages, and it was a really thick book, but I read it in like a span of 14 hours or something like that. I just went really hardcore on that shit. So I fell in love with that. I learned a lot about MJ and stuff like that. So I love reading biographies, but today I did not buy a biography. I bought The Filmmaker's Handbook, a comprehensive guide for the digital age. So I think every creator of any kind of videos or movies or filmmaking or films, anything like that, should get a copy of this book. It's called the Bible kind of thing of the filmmaking, and I believe it is. Right now I'm doing YouTube videos with audio. Maybe one day I'll do one with visual, and I'll still need it then as well. But I'm just holding this thing in my hands right now, but it's not just about the visual aspects of filmmaking or the narrating or the narrative of it. It's even talks about other stuff that I'm interested in, like how to market your film or how to get the fundings for it, stuff like that, or any stuff like pre-production, how to get an idea for whether it's a documentary or if it's an actual feature film, or how the first things it talks about is actually how film is actually being replaced by everything digital now, even Christopher Nolan was saying that he said that he wanted to preserve the use of films in movies and theaters, because the quality of that is much better than right now. It's all 4K digital camera kind of filming style right now, and it's not as good as traditional film, even though film is much more expensive than digital. Personally, I probably will go to digital. Even though film is a lot better, it's just more convenient for me, and I think most YouTubers go with digital anyways. Not a lot of YouTubers shoot their things on film, I don't think, so it's more just teach me how to do my filming, I guess, and it helps me with sound effects and audio as well, so I may be able to take a look at that and learn a few tips myself and upgrade my podcast or upgrade my YouTube videos in general, kind of thing. So I got that book. I highly recommend it for any of those individuals who are interested in making videos and stuff like that. You guys can always take a look at that. So to get more into the topic of today, the reason I came up with this topic was I was watching those TV shows where they put celebrities into haunted houses, and then it's kind of like really flimsy ones, I guess, where they react to a spider and they're like, ah, kind of thing, and the celebrity is like a hot chick, so it's like, oh my god, and she's like jumping up and down and things are flying everywhere kind of thing. So yeah, that reminded me of the topic I wanted to talk about today, haunted houses. Okay, today I'm going to talk about the most extreme haunted house, followed by 5 other haunted houses, and of course my own personal experience with haunted houses. There's 2 that I find extremely memorable for haunted houses, and I'm going to talk a bit about that at the end of the video. So if you guys want to stay tuned, check it out. Yeah, let's get going, bruz. Okay, so haunted house, the one famous haunted house that I know of, actually, that I kind of wanted to talk about before starting the most extreme haunted house was there is a haunted house in Japan. I've never been there, but I heard it's really friggin' creepy because it's modeled after, well, actually it's not modeled, it is actually a real hospital that they didn't use anymore, and some guy bought the hospital and basically made that into a haunted house. Yeah, imagine that. You're just like walking around, you know. It's like, oh yeah, you know, this place, someone actually died here because this is the morgue or something like that. And then you pull up and open the bag and there's like Frankenstein in there or something. I'm not even sure. That's some creepy shit. Yeah, I would probably never go in those kind of places anyways. I mean, I've never really been fond of haunted houses. I've always been terrified of them, even as a kid. And it's just the fact that I know that someone is out there to get me gives it a more sinister feel, you know what I'm saying? Like if I'm walking through a crazy, haunted, scary place, that I know it's haunted, but like I don't feel like the ghost will be trying to, haha, let's get a scare out of this fucker kind of thing. But if you're like a haunted house, like you know that their main goal is to scare you shitless kind of thing, you know? Bricks will be shat. Like, that's what they're trying to do to you, and that makes it more scary. That's like, man, someone's out to get me. Like, they will pull all the tricks out of their bag just to try to get you to scream kind of thing. So, when I was a kid, the one haunted house I went to was with my sister, and it was like a really dumb one, where it was kind of like it was like a roller coaster haunted house. So you went through the roller coaster and you went through and then you kept going and going. And then I closed my eyes the whole way. I just felt air and I heard sounds and I felt smoke being like blown into my face. But the one part where I thought it was over and I opened my eyes and there was a head right there and I fucking screamed, but it was actually just the employee that worked at the place and he was trying to unbuckle my seatbelt. But I thought he would, and the only image I saw was his face. I was like, ah! And I fucking... And I fucking just screamed, and he was like, whoa, calm down, kind of thing. Because I closed my eyes the whole time. Till the very end, I opened, I saw this. I mean, he wasn't bad looking. No, he was not. Anyways, so yeah, that was the only time that happened to me. So, anyways, haunted house in Japan, haunted hospital. If you guys want to go check it out, hey, who wants to go with me to Japan? Maybe we can go together. Any females interested in getting to know the real horror studio one and have some horror studio fun, if you get what I'm saying? Anyways, some try to stop eliciting you now. Let's get back to, I actually had an idea of a great haunted house. 5 Nights at Freddy's haunted house. $1 million idea right there, bruh. Has anyone ever thought about that though? Like a 5 Night at Freddy's. So the whole experience is you're basically doing the same thing they do in the game, but it's like you're not playing a game. It's really you. But then how would you, like you would be like, close that door, close that door kind of thing. No, that'd be kind of weird, right? And then these guys would be dressed up in the animatronics. If you guys don't know what 5 Nights at Freddy is, you guys, hey, I have a creepypasta. I did a creepypasta series on it. 3 episodes, man. Go and check it out. My creepypasta. I did a pretty good job, I think. I mean, it didn't get the feedback I guess I was looking for because I guess a couple of months ago, 5 Nights at Freddy was super popular, and then some subscribers suggested that maybe I should do it, and I thought about doing it for a while, and I did it, but then I guess the whole 5 Nights at Freddy's kind of like phase, or that kind of like, you know, that kind of thing, that whole trend has passed. And then I did it, so no one was super interested. I have like 1,000 to 2,000 views on those guys, so it wasn't the response I expected. But you know, granted, I still think they're pretty nicely narrated. I put a lot of emotion into them, as always, maybe too much, as you guys have said. But yeah, man, Five Nights at Freddy's Haunted House, man. I swear to God, some guy's already like building that right now as I am making this podcast, because great minds think alike. Anyways, so to the topic of the day, I'm going to talk a bit about that. But before that, I'm going to do my famous scene where I drink some water because my voice is getting throaty, getting scratchy, it's getting dry-y. So give me 1 second. I'm opening my water bottle. Yeah, I have a water bottle. Don't judge. Sometimes I drink from a water bottle, okay? What? Come on. It was how I was raised, okay, guys? Jesus. Super insecure about a water bottle. I'm so sorry. I'm supposed to be Horror Studio 1, right? Nothing phases me. Okay, so this is really hardcore. This kind of inspired the title, obviously, and it also kind of inspired this video, this whole approach I'm going to be taking to this video. It is a very extreme haunted house. Even though haunted houses are fake, I guess it's just the fact that a lot of people that have been to haunted houses and know the stereotype of haunted houses all know that it's fake. So to create a truly extremely scary haunted house, people would have to create something that's not just some guy dressed up in a costume coming out and boo kind of scaring you, right? Had to be something that you can feel real fear. And one of them is it's called McKay Manor, and it's in San Diego, California. It says that it's arguably the most extreme haunted house. It's run by an individual named Russ McKay, who's basically invested $500,000 into this place. It's used to draw deep and emotional responses, horrifying responses from people. They can last up to 2 days. Yes. So they will keep an individual inside there up to 2 days. Special effects, animatronics, disgusting moments are made to cause the person to be crying, shivering, and even passing out. He says it's like a mini movie where the guests are actors in his film that he's trying to make. It's like someone is living their horror movie right in front of their faces. One of its most extreme moments is at a morgue table. They'll use a live tarantula to put on someone's face, and then they'll just be crying. He says that even though he's invested so much money, this haunted house does not even cost a dime. For the individuals who want to test themselves for the extreme, they will go in there and do what they have to do. But the person does not charge you. It's all for the love of horror, he says. Interesting stuff. They have to sign a petition to be in this as well. So they basically have to sign for the fact that even though we torture you to shit, you can't sue us or anything like that. So yeah, actually there's a YouTube comment online that talks about it, and it's quite frightening. I'll read you guys a bit about it, and if you guys don't know what this McKay Manor was, please go online and check it out. It sounds really crazy. It's only for 21 plus. I found it in a couple of articles, and just the people there, I see them with red faces. I don't know if it's paint or blood or whatever, but it just looks fucking horrifying. I'll read a comment I found on YouTube. It's actually for a video that's like exposing McKay Manor. So it's not from me, it's not from any one of my subscribers, but it's just something I found online, which I'm going to share with you guys right now, what they said about the place. And the person that wrote this is called Ain't About Bullshit. Ain't About Bullshit. He's not about bullshit, so he's not bullshitting. He's for reals. I've actually been to McKay Manor and was banned from the Facebook page afterwards, and blocked by Russ and his crew on Facebook as well. So Russ is the guy, Russ McKay. I am one of, is that how you pronounce his name? Anyways, I'm sorry, bruh, if it's not how I pronounce your name. I'll never go into that haunted house, though. You don't get a chance to get your revenge on me. I am one of the few people who has no problem telling you what happened in there. I went in 2013. It was really bad. And when I say bad, I mean I really wonder if Russ and his band of manic actors have ever truly killed someone. A woman in our group was held underwater in a dirty makeshift tub over and over for at least 20 seconds. She had began to cough and gag on water. She accidentally inhaled and was clearly choking badly. He had his actors hold her arms and head even harder. It stopped being fun once we noticed she was not okay. She was in and out of consciousness, and it was only until she had to go alone from the group she was removed, and we were told she had an accident. We still don't know what that accident was, but Russ didn't tell us that she was on her way to a local hospital for further treatment. The whole time, Russ was clearly enjoying himself, very clearly. He was laughing in the faces of the people who were melting down and didn't stop his employees from hitting, pushing, or punching anyone. The waiver also made no mention of physical contact that will or could cause injury. I was pushed enough to my knees in there by several actors, and hard too. At one point, my knee hit an edge and I thought I had sprained my knee. Luckily, I didn't. But for an hour, I was hopping through there like an asshole while their actors purposely tripped me or pushed me. Wow. The girl behind me had it even worse. She was starting to panic by the third hour, and Russ was reeling as he videotaped every second of this girl's mental decline for the next 2 hours until she finally fell and passed out from screaming so loud and for so long. Russ wasn't even concerned when she fell. She was twitching on the floor after hitting her head on a display, and all Russ could tell this nurse, who said she needed help then and now, was, No, just get some water, she's fine. She's just overexerted herself. This is tame compared to what I've heard from other groups, being force-fed until you vomit, continuously force-fed while vomiting, purposely hitting mental triggers as hard as possible, causing psychological meltdowns. At one point, he was putting a drill-like tool in people's mouths while it spins. It didn't feel fake, it fucking hurt, and he made no attempt to spare your teeth. I had to repair some grinding damage a week later, and I never grind my teeth. He also uses minor electrical shock in some scenes, because I swear someone, while I was tied to a chair with my head cage, stuck me with a cattle prod or some kind of electric stick. I still have burnt mark left in it. Russ is dangerous and he's shady. I'll never hide it, and if he sues me for slander, fine. He's a sicko and his establishment should be shut down. Alright. That sounds pretty fucked up to me. And it's just the fact that he doesn't charge people. There's like whole petitions to... They call this... It's just his way of legal torture. And there's no safe word either. Oh my god. And I guess that's kind of the appeal of the place. I mean, you're going in there and you're being tortured, right? But they can't kill you, but they are torturing you for, Some people say that that individual was clearly enjoying the act of torturing other people. I don't know if that is the case or if he was just in character. I've never been there. Personally, I will never go in there, but it just sounds like a fucking horror show. And it sounds like a nightmare. It sounds like, he's gonna sell that shit on the deep web or something like that. So, I mean, yeah, that are some comments of some individuals who have been in that place. I have never been. I'm not saying I have, and I honestly will never go into haunted houses. Especially after reading something like this. Like, I always feel like if you're a haunted house, you are more vulnerable. And I guess I'll talk a bit about that a bit later towards the end of the video, because I can tell my own personal experience of being into haunted house. And yes, there have been some physical contact that was involved that I had not expected. But it's just like you're in a vulnerable state, and the people doing the scaring, they're in a position of authority over you in some cases. So... I guess there's always going to be that kind of thing. So yeah, that is the McKay Manor. So if you guys are interested in that extreme kind of scares, getting scarred for life, go ahead and try it out. I personally never will. As for my opinions on that situation, I'm not even sure, but I mean, I do respect the guy for, trying to, promote horror, I guess, and he doesn't charge you anything. So I guess, he's not in it to make profit. He's in it to generally try to scare the shit out of people. Maybe that's his noble goal, It's kind of like me, but I use it through horror stories, but he's doing it just through, like, putting a spider on your face kind of thing. So, yeah, that is just one of the ones. And there's a couple of others as well. And you guys can, I can tell you guys a bit about the other ones as well. Just a brief descriptions. There's one called Blackout, and it's located in New York City, Los Angeles, and it's pretty similar to the one. It's 18 plus. Participants must be 18 or older. They wanted to make a more theatrical part of the theatrical, like, haunted house kind of thing. Patrons have ended up half naked, bound, and gagged. Oh my god, a lot of people want to do this stuff. Yeah, that's pretty hardcore. There's one called Alone, located in Los Angeles as well, California. It's more like a existential haunting. So it's like to try to get the people's worst nightmares to unfold. They don't use any fake blood or guts or clowns or any of that crazy shit. It's more like a psychological horror, and it even adds sexuality and personalized attention. So I guess they try to uncover your deepest fears and use that to fight against you, kind of thing. The next one is the Freakling Brothers Gates of Hell. Oh my god, this looks fucking crazy. It just has a picture of a clown there. I'm reading this from an article, by the way. It's basically, you're bombarded with faces of death moments, depicting people dying in horrible ways, being executed and that kind of stuff, using that to scare the shit out of you. The Scare House, The Basement. This one I found it pretty interesting. It says it digs deep into the psychology of a scare, and it actually challenges traditional ideas of fear kind of thing. That's pretty crazy. It uses claustrophobia, electric shocks, and all that kind of stuff, but it never depicts female or sexual violence against women. Instead, women are some of the most aggressive and powerful characters in there. So I guess they try to challenge the stereotype that women are always weak in there. So yeah, it gives you a new outlook on life. So think about a fucking haunted house. After that end of that journey, the way you see life is totally different. That's pretty hardcore. And it's located in Pittsburgh. It's called The Basement, and it's also, of course, 18 plus. And there's a Shocktoberfest Naked and Scared challenge. So you have to be nude, and you're with someone else of the opposite sex, I think. Oh shit. Okay, you guys can check that out if you guys want. Just go with your attractive female friend. I'm kidding. Whoa, where'd that come from? Dude. Actually, I can tell you guys a bit of a story about that, actually. My own haunted house experience. I actually went to a haunted house with a female friend, and that was when I was a bit older. There was no romantic connection whatsoever. This friend was just visiting, and I was taking them around town, and I was like, hey, let's go check out a haunted house kind of thing. And it was a good time. We went in there, and then I was trying to be all brave, because I was like 18 at that time, and I was trying to be brave, and she was really freaked out, and then she was always like holding on to my arm. I'm like, don't worry. I'm majestic. What an idiot. Okay, and then I was like, dude, don't worry, and I was trying to like make a joke out of it, because that's what you are. Like, you're an 18-year-old guy, right? So you're like, man, I'm an adult, I'm a man, and I didn't have a girlfriend at that time, but anyways, I still don't have a girlfriend now. What am I saying? Yeah, anyways, let's not talk about that topic. Whoa, things just got sidetracked. Damn it. Anyways, I was like, let's go into this. Actually, I didn't suggest it, but anyways, we went inside, and it was pretty creepy, right? She was super terrified, right? And I had to kind of comfort her, because I'd never been into a haunted house with a girl before. I guess it's just the same way as going if you're going with kids. It's that you have to kind of take the leadership role, or else if you freak out and they freak out, you guys will be standing at the entrance being like shivering and like, okay, let's not go in kind of thing. So I had to be like, no, just do it, man. Like, of course I wasn't all like bravado, but I was like, yeah, man, I mean, it's not that bad, whatever. So we went in, and then it was like the flimsiest fucking haunted house in the world, and there was like, just like smoke and green lights and that kind of stuff, obviously, and some like loud bang sounds or whatever. And then we were going inside, and there was this one dude in a fucking mask, and he had like kind of like a knife, and he was like in a skull mask, like those really cheap ones you find at those really, like downtown Halloween stores or whatever, the ones next to the sexy nurse dress. So he was all like, he had these like grandiose movements, like he's like a stage actor or something. And I was like, all right, bros. And then I see this guy, and I'm like, whoa, what the shit, right? At first, you kind of like intimidated by this man, right? But like, he's so short, and then it was always just him. So he was basically like chasing us. So we got from one place, and we walked fast. He would have to like go behind the curtain and run, like, he was kind of like panting or whatnot. And then like the third time I saw him, he was like leading me into this doorway, right in front of me. And I was like, why don't you go first? And he's like, and he tried to like, motion me to just go with his hand, and I was like, oh, you go first. And he just trying to get me in there. He was like, go, and he was like waving a knife in front of me, and I was like, God, like I was like, I'm not 8. Anyways, yeah, that was the like a more recent haunted house experience, and we got out and we were both pretty terrified. Anyways, good times. I did not cop a feel. I don't know why I had to make that so. Emphasize on that so much. But anyways, the other time I went on a haunted house trip personally was at my school. Actually, my high school did one, and a lot of my friends were a part of that haunted house, and they were like supposedly, the ghosts inside. And then they knew I was coming, these assholes, and I was inside, and then they started to beat the shit out of me. My friends, I'm like, who is this? Like, I'm just like, people are like grabbing your legs, and you're like, whatever, this is lame or whatever, because they only did it in like a small like part of the gym, and it was pretty bad. But some of my friends saw me, like, oh, it's you, like Horror Studio 1, and they just started like beating the shit out of me and climbing on top of me, and then I was like injured by the time I like limped out of the room. I was like, fuck. Anyways, that was good times though. I remember that. That was good times. Good times from high school kind of thing. That was the only 2 times I mean, this is pretty lame compared to what I talked about before. I'm sorry. Horror Studio 1 did not live much of a life. Does not have 20 true haunted house experiences, despite what you believe about me. I'm a fun guy. I'm a nice guy. I'm not all into ghosts and stuff. Anyways, yeah, you guys can check out that McKay Manor and some of the other haunted houses I've mentioned before. You can probably find the article I'm reading online. I just don't want to read it out. I don't know why. Yeah, and if you guys like haunted houses or whatever your thoughts on these kind of haunted house tours, leave it at the bottom, the comments. And if you have a sick haunted house experience or you've been to one of those places, please put it in the comments below. And yeah, I want to thank every single one of you guys again. This is Horror Studio 1, and this is my Unedited podcast, and I am going to be going now. Thank you guys so much for listening and continuing to support me. It means a lot, and I love you all very much. See you guys later.